Hi everyone, welcome at the buying review of the Audi A5. This is the first generation A5 and that was built from 2007 until 2016, which is quite a long time. The A5 was always the more stylish alternative to the A4, especially the 4-door coupe. The A5 is available as a coupe, convertible and sportsback. The sportsback was the most sold variant. Internal code for this generation A5 is B8. In this video we will talk about the positives and the negative points of this car. We will explain something about the engines and what kind of points you should check before or during buying this car. Let's start off with the positives first. Positive points of this A5 is the styling. Of course, that's in the eye of the beholder. Performance wise, this car has quite some potent engines. Equipment wise, there are a lot of gadgets actually to be had on this car, so that's nice. And the driving capabilities are quite good, especially the cars with the quattro 4-wheel drive system. Attention points to this car. The Audi automatic gearbox is called Multitronic, sometimes referred to as multi-trauma. This is not the best gearbox that Audi made. Problems could be during shifting. You will feel a shocking feeling in the drivetrain. From a standstill, this will result in not such a smooth acceleration. If you reverse the car during a cold start in freezing temperatures, you could experience some difficulty of getting the car into gear. If you go for the manual, check if the clutch operates without feeling any shocks during acceleration. If you go for the S-Tronic with dual clutch, if shifting goes smooth and without any shocks, that's the way it should be. Oil usage for the 2-liter TFSI engine is preventable by adjusting the carter ventilation. To get rid of the whole problem, you should replace the piston rings, but this is a very expensive acquisition. So most people will keep their eye on the oil level instead, and just add oil from time to time. Chain tensioners and the distribution chain of the 1.8 and the 2-liter TFSI could get defective, and this could lead to serious engine damage. See if the tensioners are already replaced. Sometimes Audi will come forward in the form of warranty or reducing the costs of repairs. Most A5s will be checked by now, since the dealership have been notified about these issues. Then there's the issue of water collecting tray under the windshield can get constipated. Exactly under this water tray there are chips and computers, and the combination of water and computers is never a good idea. When it comes to electronics, the infotainment system will sometimes crash. Also, parking sensors will sometimes break down. So check if they work after purchasing the car or during purchasing the car. The electronic parking brake will sometimes break down. This results in not you being able to drive away. So check the electronic parking brake as well. Now let's talk a little bit more about the engines. The vortex valves of the 2.7 and the 3-liter TDI will wear out, and then the engine control unit will display an error. An Audi specialist will remove them for you. Sometimes Audi will even pay for the bill or compensate you for it at least. Then there are some complaints about the model year 2012, and that these complaints are related to the steering aid. Sometimes you will feel steering aid to be too heavy, sometimes too light. Often a software update can help you to prevent these issues. More about the engines. The entry-level engine was the 1.8-liter 4-cylinder TFSI engine. This was a 4-cylinder engine with direct petrol injection and a turbo. This engine was basically from Volkswagen and was also used in the Skoda Octavia. Power output was 170 brake horsepower. This engine was replaced by a 2-liter TFSI engine with 180 brake horsepower, or a 211 brake horsepower variant with valve lift technology. There was also a 3.2-liter V6 engine available with 265 brake horsepower and 330 Nm of torque. The 0 to 100 kilometers or the 0 to 60 mile an hour is done in 6.1 seconds. For the diesels, there was an entry-level engine, and this was the 2.7-liter V6 with 190 brake horsepower, and this engine was produced until the summer of 2008. The engine was able to reach 232 kilometers and needed 7.6 seconds from 0 to 100 kilometers, or 0 to 60 miles an hour. The 2.7 TDI is almost identical to the 3-liter TDI, except the latter has a different crankshaft and a smaller stroke. The 3-liter has 240 brake horsepower and 500 Newton meters of torque. This car comes standard with quattro 4-wheel drive. 0 to 100 kilometers is done in 5.9 seconds, and top speed was limited to 250 kilometers an hour. In 2008 there was a new entry-level engine, which was the 2-liter TDI with common rail technology, that produced 170 brake horsepower. There is also an S5 and an RS5 version of the car, tuned by Quattro. The S5, 4.2-liter V8 FSI engine with 354 horsepower and 440 Newton meters of torque. The RS5 has a V8 that produces 450 brake horsepower and has even more torque. Both are limited to 250 kilometers an hour. These are the most powerful versions of the A5. Hope this buying review was useful for you if you are in the market for a fast, stylish coupe or convertible. Technically these cars are not flawless, but if you know what to look out for, then it's less tricky to buy such a car. If you want more buying reviews like this in the future, subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.